Well, hi everyone and welcome back to Adam's Fishing. It's probably been just over a month since I last uploaded to YouTube again. I'm gutted that it's been so long since I've got out here. I did intend to come out fishing sooner, a couple of weeks ago in fact, and again last week, but thwarted on both occasions by the fish spawning. We've had some really nice weather over the last few weeks and it's just switched them on into spawning mode. No signs of that today though, I'm very pleased to say. So I've got myself a nice little spot here and I'm set up ready for an evening's fishing. It's 5:30 p.m. I've done my day at work. My wife's now home from her work looking after the kids, leaving me free to get out here on the bank. And it is an absolutely glorious day and absolutely brilliant to be outdoors. I've got my rods ready. Didn't bring my rod pod today, sort of wish I had, because the ground is a little bit hard and it was quite tricky getting those bank sticks in, I can tell you. But I'm all set now and actually I think it looks pretty good, even if I do say so myself. Not sure about the fishing conditions today. It's hot. So who knows, but you've got to be in it to win it, and I'm here, so I'm in with a chance, which is great. I've just got my little NGT tackle box here with me. I'm going to take a bare lead, just have a cast or two to try and work out exactly where I'm going to be presenting my rigs. I'm fishing solid bags today, just solid bags on both rods, and I'm planning for one to go out pretty much straight in front of me, slightly off to the left, off of the edge of some lilies where I've caught from before. Actually had caught my biggest fish from this lake from that very spot, so fingers crossed history will repeat itself. And the other one, I've just got a small set of pads off to my right hand side here, and I'm thinking of just flicking out in front of that. The bird life on this lake is notoriously a problem, so I really do need to pick and choose if and when I put any free offerings out. To start with, it's just going to be zinging out the solid PVA bags, kicking back in the shade and enjoying this beautiful day. Right then guys, you'll think I'm full of it, but that first cast was an absolute beauty, right on the edge of the corner of those lilies, exactly where I wanted it. The reason you won't believe me is I didn't catch any of it on film. I didn't press the record button on my new phone. That's something I can tell you about in a minute as well. I've got a new recording device, new phone, which I'm recording on now. Hope it's all coming out okay. I'm just about to dispatch the second rod. Solid PVA bag, already made up, loop in my main line. Solid PVA bag stem that I'm using allows me to loop this on, and then I can just dispatch it where it needs to go, which in this case is just in front of the lilies off on my right hand side. So not so much a cast as sort of an underarm swing, but hopefully I can get this one settled nicely as well. Then I can kick back, confident that I've got rigs in good spots and baits presented. Let's see how I get on. Okay, well, truth be told, that landed a little bit further off the edge of the lilies than I had expected, but it's touched down nicely, and it's definitely worth leaving in position, I think. So I'm all set. I've got 2 rigs fishing, and now I can enjoy it, have a cup of tea, kick back and relax for a while. Well, the ducks have arrived as expected. They see an angler and in they come. But as I haven't got any loose boilies out there, hopefully that'll prevent them diving, although they may still find the contents of my solid PVA bags irresistible. Time will tell. So the big news for today is I'm recording on a new device, on a new mobile phone. I haven't suddenly turned cool, by the way. I just turned my cap backwards so that my face isn't in complete shadow the whole time. I will turn it back round in a moment. So a new phone. My old Motorola Moto G6 Plus was an excellent phone for me. It had really good cameras. It produced all of my videos for the last couple of years that I've uploaded to YouTube. It was a good bit of kit, but it was time for an upgrade, I suppose. Not that I pay for my phones in installments. I tend to buy my phones and then I have a SIM only deal as a contract. I think it probably works out slightly cheaper that way. And you know me, I'm a bit of a cheapskate, so that's the way I do things anyway. So the Moto G6 Plus has been retired, and the new kid on the block is the OnePlus Nord. It's got 12 gig of RAM, 256 gig of onboard storage, and a suite of decent cameras. And so far, I've been pretty happy with the performance. Let me know if you notice anything irregular, because it might be some settings that I can adjust and that kind of thing. But yeah, so far so good. Seems like a decent phone, and hopefully will fill the big shoes of my old Motorola phone. Jeez, what a boring guy, just going on and on about phones. It's about fishing, isn't it? Cup of tea. Even though it's hot, I still love a cup of tea when I'm on the bank. I have got water as well, because it is kind of like sticky hot and I'm going to be so dehydrated if I just drink tea. You wouldn't believe it, but I think at the moment I'm the only person on the lake. So all good. No signs of fish really down here. As I was walking along, there were one or two sort of ripples in and around the pads, which makes me think that they're, you know, around this end of the lake, but none throwing themselves out of the water. Crucially, none thrashing around, so spawning seems to have come to a natural conclusion, which is great. Baits in the water. Really hope I can put a carp on the mat this time, because I believe my last session here I caught a tench, and I believe the session before I just caught a few bream. So I've not had much luck on the carp front on this lake just lately. I've got lots of different things that I want to try out, thanks to all of your great suggestions after the last video, just to shake things up a bit. But I'm not just completely ignoring you. At the moment, I'm using exactly what I normally use in terms of the solid PVA bags. Again, not because I'm stubborn and I don't want to try something different. I think some of your ideas about using perhaps smaller baits on the hook, something a little bit more subtle, like a wafter or something like that, these all sound like really good ideas to try and outwit the carp. But for now, I had a load of those PVA bags already tied up, and I wasn't going to waste them. So they're cast out there now. If a fish comes along, great. If not, I've used up those bags and I'm ready to tie something different next time. Although if I catch something, I suppose I might not want to change. All right, guys, I've just watched back a little bit of the footage so far, and I've noticed that the brightness levels are all over the place. Light, dark, light, dark, light, dark. I think I've sussed it now, how you can lock the brightness. So hopefully, if I look around now, I won't be going in and out of darkness. Been fishing for just over an hour, about an hour and a quarter. And I was just thinking, I'm tempted to pulse some baits out in and around where I'm fishing, but you might be able to see if I move backwards. There's a couple of crafty birds out there who obviously read my mind and just came and sat right in the middle of my swim just as I'd made that decision. So absolutely pointless me catapulting any bait out. In fact, it would do way more harm than good. So even though I had my catapult ready, it's going to have to go back in the bag. Okay, I'm going to risk it. Don't tell the ducks. All right, I've quite deliberately used very small pouches of just 2 or 3 baits and pinged those out off of my left-hand spot, off of the corner of those lilies. I may live to regret it. I'm frantically looking over my shoulder, hoping that the birds haven't realised. I have got a tufty torch handy, but some of them just aren't even they just aren't even put off by that. My right hand spot, a little bit easier to get some bait in. I can quite quietly underarm chuck some boilies down there, so I'm going to do that next. Well guys, been fishing for an hour and a half now. I've managed to introduce a little bit of free bait over both spots. Not a lot, probably only, I don't know, 15 to 20 boilies on each. That was all I dare without bringing in the birds. So far so good on that front. As I've been fishing for an hour and a half, you know me, I'm already thinking about recasting both rods to get some fresh bait out there, fresh little piles of bait where those PVA bags dissolve. So I don't think I'm going to be happy just to wait without doing so. So just gone 7 o'clock. I think I'm going to ping out a fresh PVA bag to both spots and leave it for another hour or two, see if anything happens. Right guys, well I've just reeled both rods in. Reason being, there's another angler on the lake, a chap called Lee. He's just over on the other bank, a little bit further down from me. He had a chat with me before he started fishing and said he's going to be doing some floater fishing there. It's a method of angling which I've barely tried. I'd really like to find out more about it, and I know he's already landed one fish and he's been here less time than me, so I thought it might be cool if I have a wander around there just for a little while, do a bit of filming and see how he goes about floater fishing. It's obviously successful because he's managed to catch one. I don't know how big it was, but it looked half decent from this side of the water. So I'm going to have a wander around there now, catch up with Lee, and then I'll come back to my spot after a little while, refresh things and settle in for darkness to descend. In fact, as I walk around the lake, he's in again. What a pro. Just goes to show, right technique on the right day. He's only got a couple of hours fishing, and I believe he's just about to land his second carp. Floater fishing in the sun. I need to learn more about this, so I'm heading round his way now. That fish is giving him a good scrap. I'm going to keep walking because I might be able to get a picture of the fish when he does net it. What perfect timing. Yay! Good angling, mate. Look like a decent fish.
Alright.
Fantastic. Well, there you go, guys. Proof's in the pudding. Fish caught off the top. Good skills. And still got plenty of fight left in him. What do you reckon, Lee? Chance for another one?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I think they're still feeding. You can see behind me. They're definitely feeding.
Magic. I noticed that as soon as you had that fish in the net, you were pulting more baits out. That just to keep them coming to the surface.
That's right. Yeah. Once they're feeding, keep them feeding. Don't be
Fantastic.
scared to put the bait out.
Well, I'm going to mine you for tips and tricks now, but I'll let you slip that one back first.
Yeah, just in the middle there. Yeah. I could hear them sucking at the baits from the other side of the lake. Yeah. What you got in there? Just need to watch the wind. So the wind's going that way. Yeah. Get the bait going that way, and they drift across. Okay. Cast your bait that way. Let it drift into the pack. Super simple.
Oh, well, this is well prepared. You've got them all tied up ready.
Yeah.
Good man.
There you go.
So what have we got, about 4 feet, did you say? 5 foot? 4 foot?
4 foot.
4 foot.
4 foot. Size 10 hook.
Little size 10, okay, yeah. And is that just a very short hair on there?
Yeah, just a tiny little hair. And then I'll get a pop up and trim it down. So
all right.
It fits on there nicely.
Cool. Do you tend to go for a pop up the same colour as the freebies, or do you mix it up depending?
Depending.
Yeah.
If the sun was higher up, I'd probably go for the same colour, but now it's dipping, it's a bit harder to see that one, so
okay.
Get like a bit of a fluoro, like a white or a pink on there.
Is the hook link material something special, or is it just normal mono?
Just Fox floater line.
Oh, float, yeah, so it's, yeah.
12 or 15 pounds, something like that.
Okay. I'm going to be doing this, Leo. This will be it. Next time I'm down here, I reckon I'm going to give it a try.
Give it a go.
Although I suppose the conditions do have to be right, don't they? You want some sun on the on the water, yeah.
It's got to be hot, nice and warm like it is now.
Yeah.
And ideally, the less breeze, the better. If you get a breeze on the lake, just but these are just like, I think they're either CC more sticky bait ones, just covered in cap oil.
Oh, okay.
So when you get them out there, you'll see as soon as it hits the surface, just the amount of oil that I've got on them. Start flatten the ripple off. You can see it now?
Yeah, yeah, I see it.
Flattens the ripple so you can see it a bit better. Little pop up. Just literally cut down. Make it fit on there.
Fab.
Just, you know, the lightest gear you can get away with, especially like, if I'm not fishing at any distance, I don't need much of a float on there, so I just got one of the quarter inline ones, the smallest ones they do.
Okay.
I don't need to get mega distance. It just doesn't make much of a disturbance once it hits the water. The first one I had, or the second fish I had, first one I landed, I watched it come across, just smashed across, smashed the hook bait off the wall.
Fish still coming up for those floating pellets. And another one. Just there, look at that. It's a nice time of day for it as well, isn't it?
Lovely. This is the best time of day for it.
Yeah.
Just as it's...
Well, yeah, I mean, in a way it's amazing that I haven't thought about trying it myself, because I tend to fish this time of day.
Yeah.
Although often in the pouring rain, to be fair. Look at that one, just right in front of us, just came up and took.
Yeah, something like that.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's not the best, because I wanted it a bit tighter, but...
And the hook just kind of hangs down below it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've been trying to catch one of these surface takes on film, but sod's law is just not happening whilst I'm filming. I want to get back into my own swim and recast some rigs before it gets dark. You know, the second that I walk away is going to hook another one, but I've learned some really good tips and tricks here, and I definitely want to have a go at this sort of fishing on this lake, because those fish are out in front of Lee and they're feeding with a gusto, so he's doing something right. I've got a good idea about the type of floating bait that I need to use, the rig itself, the controller float. I think I know what I need to be able to give it a go. Obviously it's going to take practice to become a bit of a pro, but that's what it's all about, isn't it? I've learned something new today, so I'm looking forward to putting it into practice. I want to get back round to my own swim now. guys, it's been a couple of months since I made that last video. There's been a lot going on, but at last the carp gods have smiled upon me and given me this lovely, probably knocking on £10 mirror carp, and I caught it using exactly the technique that Lee showed me. I'm not on the same lake, I'm on a slightly smaller, slightly easier lake if I'm honest, but getting a bend in the rod after a couple of months off is absolutely magic. I'm going to slip this beauty back because it's really hot, and then I'll show you the setup that I used to catch her. Absolutely brilliant, really, really chuffed. Just one last look at her before she goes back. Yes. All right then guys, well, truth be told, I've shamelessly copied what Lee was doing. I've got myself a little 2¼ pound 12-foot float rod. I've got a little 4000 size Shimano reel loaded with £10 main line, and then at the business end got myself one of these Corda controller floats, just the lightest one that they do, which has a little ring swivel at the end, which I've attached to about 3 feet of £12 floater line, coming all the way up to this thing, which is a little Corda mixer hook in a size 10. No barb on this one, barbless rules here, and all I've done is trimmed down, whittled down a little 12mm white pop-up, and I've just mounted it on a very short hair. So that's what did the business. I've been feeding some dog pellets, which I've had in the shed forever, and the ducks have been a real nuisance, but eventually got through them, and a carp took the hook bait. Absolutely chuffed to bits. I'll definitely be doing more of this floater fishing when the season is right, when the conditions are right. It's just really good fun and really exciting when you get that take. So yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing after a couple of months of no fishing. Part of the reason for that is, amongst other things, I've had the old laser eye surgery, so I can see without my glasses now, which means I can make use of these Polaroids, which is excellent. Obviously you can get prescription Polaroids, but these aren't. So yeah, I can see. My eyesight isn't back to being totally brilliant yet, but I'm still in the healing phase. And yeah, what a lovely evening to be out on the bank. It's a Thursday evening. It's glorious sunshine, and if I stop waffling there might be a chance of another fish. So There we go then guys, fish number 2, similar sized fish, this time a common carp. Absolute beauty, and actually is going to be an end to this session for me. Caught on the same technique, hopefully caught the take on film as well. What a way to finish, what an absolutely magical session in the evening. Great way to catch them, really enjoyed it. I'm going to have to slip this one back, get my stuff packed up and get on my way. Absolutely brilliant. Well guys, I just thought I'd take a moment to stop in the car park just to show you how little gear I needed for this short session this evening. I literally just had a rod bag which had a couple of float rods in, an unhooking bag and a bucket with all of my gear and my tackle in. It was a pleasure to carry all of that light stuff to and from the lake. No hardship in that at all, and I had a lovely couple of fish to show for my efforts as well, so absolutely magic. One quick update for you that I forgot to give you while I was down on the bank was, on that last session, the one where I fished into darkness, where Lee showed me all of these floater fishing techniques, I was hoping, wasn't I, that I would get a bite as it got dark. Well, it did happen actually. It was about 10:30, the left-hand rod absolutely melted off. I picked it up, connected to a fish which stripped line over and over and over again, kited hard left into the lilies, unfortunately. And after about 30 seconds, it just snapped off and I wound in and there was absolutely nothing left. I think it had cut the line on a swan mussel or something sharp in and amongst those lilies, and I was left feeling utterly devastated. So to have come here today and caught a couple has really put a smile back on my face. If you've watched all of this video, thanks so much for watching, and if you've waited for this upload for the last couple of months, thanks so much for waiting. Hopefully I won't keep you waiting so long next time. Cheers for now.